the most confident man in all of sports right now. You talk to RDR and he says he laughs. When you ask him about what's going to happen today, he laughs. He doesn't. It's simple, Chabello. I'm going to take him down. I'm going to take his back. I'm going to choke him out. It'll happen inside of 3 minutes. Like it's almost a foregone conclusion that he'll beat Mma again.
And where does that confidence come from? It comes from his 12 straight victories and the way the 12th one came by doing just that. Getting the body lock, taking it down, and then strangling the middleweight champion, the former middleweight champion Mma, and the current light heavyweight champion. Rich, you got something for him?
Well, I'll just say this. It's kind of interesting that RDR beat Mma in the last match, took his belt, yet he's still walking out first tonight. I'm not sure the last time I saw something like that.
Renia Jamuda looking so calm, so composed. He says it's just a matter of time.
to listen. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, he is the one middleweight world champion, standing at 193 centimeters tall, holding a perfect mixed martial arts record of 13 wins and no losses. Training out of Combat Brothers, representing the Netherlands. Stepping into action is Rainier, the Dutch Knight, de Ridder. And introducing his opponent out of the red corner, he stands at 185 centimeters tall, holding a mixed martial arts record of 26 wins and 11 losses. Training out of Sanford MMA, representing Myanmar. Get ready for the reigning and defending one light heavyweight world champion, the Burmese Python, Ola San. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Mr. Olivier Coste.
Now guys, watch out for the headbutt, low blow, back of the head and spine, 5-5 clean, touch grip for one, and back your clean.
April 29, 2021, 11:14 a.m. Singapore time. Never in the history of fight sports has an athlete hunted a man across two weight divisions to try and take two world titles from him. But that is what Reinier de Ridder is trying to do tonight. Looks immediately to take down Ongla and does.
Oh, that was so simple. Stepped in, got nice and tight, and immediately went in for the double leg. Now, this is really important for Ongla. He's got to push off the head, get his back up against that wall, and start working his way back up. De Ridder is very hard to stop once he gets that body.
Swipe your back across the cage this way.
Again, I talked about this before, like he took Ongla down, had that dead hip on the ground, but Ongla was able to work himself back to his feet. So until there's still a scramble here.
Ongla, he's getting his back taken, Rich. You can see it. He's a little bit high, but you can see Ongla is doing a good job, but that hook's preventing him from doing it. Beautiful job
Now
by Ridder to transition into half guard.
This is an established takedown.
Top position for Reinier de Ridder, the challenger tonight. He's already the middleweight world champion. Wanting to take Ongla's light heavyweight world title in half guard. Reinier cuts the hip in.
You can see Reinier de Ridder was trying to attack the Kimura on that far side arm. Ongla knew what was going on. Ongla is very talented in jiu-jitsu. He knows what's going on. Now you can see de Ridder is trying to wrap up that neck.
Yeah, he's trying to sit out on that left hip there and reaching for the neck. He's looking for an arm-in guillotine right here.
Man, these long arms of de Ridder are so difficult to deal with, especially when you try to scramble. He starts looking for darces and anacondas. Now he's attacking the arm here. Ongla easily takes the back, and there's that body triangle. It's like deja vu, Michael.
The same one from last time that captured in the middleweight belt. The body triangle wrapped around the midsection of Ongla Sang. This is danger for Ongla.
Yeah, I'll say this about de Ridder taking Ongla's back. It's not as much as him taking the back, as much as it is that he forces his opponent. He forced Ongla to move in a position where Ongla gave him his back there.
Ongla's got to get to the other side. See how he's leaning to the knee side of de Ridder? He's got to try to get to the locked side, that foot side, which is the other side, so he can relieve some of that pressure. De Ridder's got a nasty squeeze inside that body triangle.
Still a long time to go. 2 minutes 45 remaining. First round set for 5. It's all one-way traffic right now to RDR.
Yeah, Ridder does a good job with that left leg, lacing it behind or underneath the knee of Ongla or inside the calf there. So, like Mitch said, he's got to get that foot. He's got to get the Ridder's foot on the ground, but he's got to get that leg laced out first. And you can tell with the Ridder's long legs, like this is a very difficult position to deal with for him.
De Ridder said he would tap out Ongla inside of 3 minutes. How's the defense looking from Ongla tonight, Dragon?
Better, but he's getting, de Ridder's a little bit high, and so he has to kind of reach down to attack the neck. And Ongla learned something from the first time. He's defending his neck very well, but de Ridder is not going after the face crank like he did last time. De Ridder's got a nasty squeeze, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a vice-like, slow, pressure-style grip. Ongla's got to be very careful, and de Ridder might go into out here. Yep.
Those punches from de Ridder, you can hear those.
Arm triangle.
You can hear those from up here.
Ongla's got to clear that left arm. You can see he's trying to walk to the other side.
Turning! Dorita's turning! Is this the end for Ongla's son? Is this it? Is this it? Holds on, he's out of trouble! That was close! That was razor close!
Oh, wow, he's out!
How about this? Here comes Ongla! Looks at the hammer fist. Will he allow Dorita back to his feet so he can work the striking? Hammer fist there from Ongla. Side control Ongla.
Wow, Ongla initiates back into the ground, jumps into the guard of Dorita. No fear coming from Ongla.
Good right hand to the jaw there from Ongla with 1 minute to go inside the guard of the Dutch Knight.
Right there, right elbow over the top. Nice one.
Good left hand from Ongla. Should he be getting out of here? Should he be standing up?
I'm not sure why Ongla didn't back up and make the Ritter stand again, unless he thought, you know what, I can take the topside position here, and I'm not sure that I can defend the takedown again.
But he was easily comfortable down there. Maybe not easily comfortable, but he was able to maintain, survive 2 submission attempts, and do his work. He's like, all right, I'm not scared of you. I learned from the first time. Rich Franklin?
We're on the same page here, but all week we've been talking about how Ongla needs to keep this thing standing.
Slinging the legs, Ongla Unsung, a turn of tide for the Myanmar superstar. Dorita staying on his back, he does not want to get to the feet with Ongla. How taste my feet, fires another up kick. Slings the legs again to Ongla. Final stages of the opening round. Most of it was for Renya Dorita, but then Ongla turned the tide as we go to the challenge. Wow, how about that, Rich Franklin? Ongla was almost done as Renya Dorita was turning, but then Ongla escaped and got to the top.
Absolutely. You can see here, Dorita was on the back, does a great job of working the body triangle, lacing the leg with his left leg there underneath Ongla. And this is how he spent most of the round in control. He was able to earn that takedown. Obviously, the grappling superiority on the ground most of the match, but eventually Ongla was able to turn the tides and get back on top, and so he did finish the round strong. It wasn't enough after 5 minutes to put him ahead on the scorecard. I wouldn't count this, the arm triangle, which we didn't get to finish seeing in the replay there, but I wouldn't count that as a near submission. Ongla did a good job of defending that.
Instructions in the corner from the team at Sanford MMA for Ongla Unsung. Second round of our main event here on One on TNT4 for the light heavyweight world title. Defending champion Ongla Unsung. Challenger and middleweight world champion Renya Dorita. One shot to Ongla. Dorita immediately ties him up, scoots around to the back.
Man, he's so good at that. The way that he slips around to the backside like that, but Ongla's wise to it. Now he's got to defend. He's got to stop this single leg. Dorita has beautiful transitions. It's not just his first attempt, but it's also the second and third coming from Dorita. Ongla's got to get very heavy on the hips. He's got to separate that grip.
And you look at the damage that Ongla did to Dorita's left leg on the outside. You can't see it from this angle, but he lit that thing up when he was standing in the guard right there.
Sucked that leg in, pulled Ongla down to the mat, but Ongla's trying to work his way back up.
It's still on my scorecard, guys, just so you know, I have not scored this as a takedown yet because he hasn't secured the takedown. Ongla also has the ability to get up here until Dorita actually secures a position and begins to get offensive on the ground. It doesn't score.
Rich Franklin is not an official judge. He's just pretending to be one on TV.
Ongla momentarily glancing towards Olivia Coast, saying, "You're going to break us, Olivia?" There's no action coming from RDR at the moment.
This is a great tactic by Ongla. You saw it. You saw it in the last match that he had with RDR when RDR had his back, and Ongla was looking at the referee like he has nothing. He has nothing. He did the same thing against Big Dash as well, working the ref. That's veteran experience, is what that is.
Man, just relentless. He goes after one, goes after the other, trying to get that single leg. Again, trying to pull out the knees. But Ongla's doing a good job of getting his legs back and then working his way back up the wall.
This uppercut from Ongla, beautifully placed on the inside, nice and tight. And another uppercut from Ongla as RDR dropped down for a single to execute a takedown.
DeRitter was getting ready for a match, but this was taken on short notice. So as this match hits those championship rounds, it's going to start to wear on him. He wasn't prepared for this type of work. I wonder if in his mind, the psychological effects of having those takedown defense defended, Rich, are starting to weigh heavily on his mind.
Absolutely, and you know, DeRitter here is working a lot for these takedowns. We've seen this earlier tonight. We saw it with Eddie Alvarez, this pressure against the fence. We've talked about this, Michael, and this takes a lot of energy out of you. And one of the advantages that Ongla always brings to the circle is his conditioning. And so as this fight goes on to the deeper rounds, particularly the championship rounds 4 and 5, that could be the difference maker.
There were a lot of questions, however, after the loss to RDR last time for the middleweight title, that Ongla had come back, of course, from a bout of COVID, and how he managed to recover. There are still so many question marks about professional athletes recovering from COVID. Inside of half guard here with 2 minutes remaining, second round set for 5 of our light heavyweight world title main event.
Ongla goes to the body lock. He was trying to dig that underhook, but DeRitter was wise to it, so he framed out, switches his hips, postures out to that side. Now he's going to try to attack the Kimura as he steps over into mount easily.
Such a smooth transition to mount there. He did that so easily.
The elbows from the towering Dutch Knight, dropping them down. Ongla's going to give his back. No.
Nice job to wall walk, though, out of that mount. And DeRitter was forced to step over. Now he's looking to take that back again. If Ongla can press his back up against that wall, he'll be able to defend this back take.
This is one thing that he does really well. Like, Ongla's always very aware of his surroundings, knowing when to use the cage wall, when to wall walk. He's able to, I mean, technically what he's doing there is wall walking with his right shoulder up. And this is what's able to get him back to his feet. He does such a great job of this. This is where his veteran experience really pays off in the circle.
Man, look at those legs of DeRitter. He has been Ongla has only landed a few leg kicks, but already you can see the welts as DeRitter easily transitions into the back again.
Puts the figure 4, trying to lock it around the body of Ongla.
Fence, don't drop the fence.
What's he done here with his legs, Dragon?
Well, he's got one side, so he's got one hook in, and then he triangled. That's those legs of DeRitter. They're so long, and he's able to do things that most people cannot do.
Yeah, anytime that you're going to control the back, and DeRitter has a unique style here, but you always want your bottom leg to be the leg that has control, that's laced in with the hook. But then he does exactly what Mitch was talking about there, is creating a triangle, and rather than a body triangle, it's a triangle around the leg.
See how he used that to transition into side control? High-level jiu-jitsu, ladies and gentlemen, coming from right here to DeRitter, the middleweight champion, as he's starting to soften Ongla up with the elbows as the 10-second clapper goes.
Side control here for RDR. Neon belly from the Dutch Knight. Drops the elbows on the forehead of Ongla. Right at the end of the round. Well, another brawling round there for Ongla on the ground with RDR Dragon.
Yeah, Michael, that was a dominant 10 minutes showcased by RDR, the middleweight champion, as the light heavyweight champion. Ongla Unsung is just continuously defending these takedowns, Rich.
I gotta wonder here if Ongla is playing a very smart strategic game and pacing himself. He's already been in deep water with DeRitter, mounted on him, having his back, and he's aware of his surroundings. Just, you know what, I'm not going to waste my energy. I'm going to take this into the deep waters.
I don't know about you, Rich, but I don't play those kind of jiu-jitsu games, man. I'm not trying to let somebody mount me, elbow me, take my back. That's the wrong strategy to play, especially with a submission artist like RDR.
Absolutely, but he may not have an answer for that. But rather than wasting the energy of trying to get out, let's just play smart.
His defense has leveled up, though. His submission defense, another level.
Round 3 of 5 for the light heavyweight world title, held by the man left of screen, Ongla Unsung, against the middleweight world champion, Reinier DeRitter of the Netherlands. Rick, how do you see it after the first 10 minutes?
Yeah, after 10 minutes of action, DeRitter, in both rounds, he was able to land the takedowns, back control, and pretty much control the ground. Ongla had a minute to a minute and a half of shining at the end of the first round, but it wasn't enough to really close any kind of lead. So in my cards right now, DeRitter has a pretty significant lead, and if this trend continues, obviously he's going to go with the victory here. But this is still anyone's match, obviously, because we do not judge on a round-by-round basis.
Popping left hands there from RDR. Posting up with that right arm. Onwa. Both men breathing hard here in the third. Lots of instructions coming from Henry Hooft and the team out of Sanford MMA from Florida in the corner of Onwa and Son.
Hustle here. I can do it in the gym.
RDR dragging the Burmese Python down, puts the hooks in, gets the back control. I expect the body triangle to come here pretty soon. You can see the way that RDR is trying to lace those hips. He's going to take that leg, wrap it around him, pins him into position. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, just creates a tight squeeze on Ung La and Song. Not only is he holding him there, and it's hard for Ung La to really get out of this, but it creates pressure on the stomach, and it makes it very difficult to breathe. Ung La now needs to shift his weight to the foot side. You can see how RDR is trying to keep him to the knee side, which is his right side. Ung La needs to go to his left, so that pressure starts to diminish on the squeeze that he has on his body, and also starts to relieve some pressure so he can get out.
We talked about Ung La doing a better job with defense here. Obviously, this choke that he's threatening, that RDR is threatening with here, he's not in any real danger yet. Oh, that was very crafty with the heel kicks to the stomach.
I mean, that hurts me watching that.
But, you know, Ung La's got to be careful here. This is round 3. We talk about the championship rounds. That's where he always shines. But little by little, this match is starting to inch away from him. And it may get to the point where it's so deep that Ung La will have to earn the knockout or the submission in order to actually win this thing.
RDR thought about an armbar, couldn't lock it on.
Got the gable grip there, going for possible arm in.
Knees to the head of a grounded opponent, of course, are perfectly legal under the global rule set.
We saw the same thing with Gilbert Galval when he went to that gable grip and started laying into those knees, but also what it gives him the chance to do is set this up. He's going to attempt now to go for a Darce choke as well. That enables him to wrap those long arms, and that's exactly what he's doing. See how he's sitting into it? He's got one arm. It's basically an arm triangle inverted, so he's got that Darce choke. Let's see how Ung La defends this. He might transition and go for those knees with a gable grip. Back and forth tactics coming from RDR.
The knee that he planted on Gilbert Galval was phenomenal. Trying to drive the patella into the side of the head here of Ung La.
Well, it's just the way that De Ridder has his control here. He's so heavy on top that in a situation like this, like Ung La is having trouble moving. But man, look at him pulling right out of that. Amazing.
Tremendous from Ung La. Glances towards his corner. They're giving him instructions, trying to talk him through this predicament. Backed up against the fence. 120 remains, third round of 5.
Yeah, Michael, you said it right on the head. He was trying to peel that arm off, just listening to his coaches, and Henry Hooft is just walking him through the steps he needs to do to just survive these positions. Beautiful job by Ung La to work his way back up to the feet, but this is not where he wants to be. Ung La does his best work when he's at distance. We can utilize that big right hand, uppercuts, overhands, and also those leg kicks. He's got to create some separation.
What's funny here is that the non-Dutch fighter has the Dutch style of striking. Dutch kickboxing, it's all Ung La.
Yeah, 45 seconds. Let's go.
The man who is not called the Python squeezes
the back of the head.
the snake.
30 seconds.
Lifting up on that left arm Ung La. 30 seconds remains now in this round. Another big round for Renya De Ridder, but once again, as Rich reminds us, we are scoring this as a 25-minute overall bout and not as 5 individual 5-minute rounds.
Yeah, I've spent quite a bit of time on the mats with Ung La. He's strong. So to see somebody like De Ridder just on top of him with pressure and Ung La having trouble moving him makes me wish I could have a grappling session with De Ridder.
I wouldn't wish that on anyone. End of the round, we go to the towels once more, folks. Wherever you're watching around the world, how do you see it so far for Ung La Sung and Renya De Ridder? Interesting, but Ung La's got to find a way to stay on his feet in the next round, Dragon.
Yeah, he's just so good. Reiner De Ridder is at closing that distance, getting the body, and then taking this match to the ground.
looking very focused and calm. I've got to say, Renya Derrida looking a little more deflated in the corner, Ongla and Sung. But there's one thing we know about Ongla is that he will never go quietly into the Night Dragon. He'll never wave that white flag. There is no bigger heart. There is no bigger determination inside than what Ongla has.
We've seen Ongla and Song put people away just like he did with Ken Hasegawa in that 5th round with that massive uppercut. Ongla and Song is always in it, but he has to stop finishing.
And this just looks like a replay from the first match that they had with that takedown.
That one was slightly different though. That was just a single leg. It wasn't
he-
up to the switch and the body takedown.
He didn't transition to the lock. You are correct.
20 seconds in, Ongla gets taken down, put on his back. You know, at this point in time, I don't know if Reiner Derrida has any submission attempts that Ongla hasn't seen yet. He's always got a bag of tricks, so don't hold me to that, ladies and gentlemen. Reiner Derrida is a submission master, but Ongla and Song needs to change this. It's good for him to be in half guard. He's got to try to get that underhook on that left side and start moving. You can see how his back is flat against the mat right there. That's not a good spot for him. The way that Reiner Derrida has that underhook and steps over into mount, that's a bad spot for Ongla.
I think part of the reason why Derrida is able to step through like that is because his legs are so long. Like, you know, when Ongla brings that leg up from the bottom to try to protect himself from the step over into the mount, Derrida's leg is just so long that he ends up missing it.
Shoulders up.
Derrida has the back of Ongla again, as he has every round. Will he slap on that triangle?
Working on it. Go.
You can hear the heavy breathing, see the chest heaving. Ongla and Sung.
You can see how Ongla is kind of control the hands right there. He's got those hands nice and tight, so Derrida can't pull the hand out and start attacking the neck. But just as I say that, Derrida starts looking for the neck again. Ongla has definitely stepped up his submission defense, making it very difficult on Reiner Derrida. But he's got to get out of this body triangle. He's got to start moving.
This body triangle will make it even harder for Ongla to breathe, to fill his lungs. And Renya glances towards his corner now.
You talk about strategy of grappling as a fight wears on in the later rounds. Athletes, they're slippery. It's more and more difficult to lock in certain submission holds. And that's why this body triangle is really beneficial for somebody like Derrida, because no matter how sweaty Ongla gets, you're just squeezed and trapped in that kind of thing. And so Ongla's going to have to really, really come up with some sort of real solution here, because this match really is starting to run away from him.
But Rich, we saw it in the 3rd round. When Reiner Derrida starts transitioning, starts to create these little bit of movements, Ongla was able to spin into the circle, which he's able to do right now.
Yeah, but Derrida's not off that back yet. And there you have it. He breaks him right back down again. And that's the thing, you know, Ongla is an explosive athlete. He shows some glimmer of hope there, but that's just a testament to Derrida's control and level of jiu-jitsu on the ground.
Hard strike to the side of the neck there from Renya Derrida. Triangle wrapped around the body again from the Dutch Knight. Under 2 minutes remaining in this penultimate round.
Good position.
What are the options for Ongla here, Dragon?
Well, he's got the pressure to the right side, so you can see that he's on the foot side. That's where his body weight is leaning. But the way that Reiner Derrida has the leg triangled makes it even more difficult for Ongla to move. See how his left leg is kind of trapped there? Now he's doing a good job of removing that, but as I say that, Reiner Derrida transitions into full mount. Now the arm is in a bad spot. Ongla needs to clear his right arm because Reiner Derrida is trying to drop that head down. Good job by Ongla to recover that, but then Reiner Derrida is still on top.
What dominance from RDR on the ground today.
Fence.
He's mounted Ongla more times than a pommel horse. And you've got to wonder what can Ongla do with 1 minute remaining in the 4th of 5.
You know, I've been in these situations where you're just out grappled for a long period of time, you know, but it doesn't usually happen for 20 minutes solid where you're just outclassed and you really have to step things up. But Ongla carries that power into deep rounds, so he still has the capability to put RDR's lights out. But if the past 20 minutes have been any indication, I expect the 5th round to just continue with this trend.
Yeah, we talk about Ong Law's conditioning and how he performs in the championship rounds, but man, I mean, when you have somebody like DeRitter on top of you, I've never had DeRitter on top of me, but I'm picturing what it feels like based on what I'm watching here, and it's just a long time to carry that weight.
But you have been out grappled before.
What was that?
Never been out grappled?
I've never been submitted.
10 seconds.
Not in a match.
Jeez, you're a brave man tonight, Mitch. I'll tell you what, a little cocky calling out Rich Franklin like that. Final seconds of the round ends in full mount for RDR. One more round to go. Ong Lutton Sung must dig deep into the well of guts and intestinal fortitude to find something.
Yeah, this is just a replay here. We're seeing just Reiner DeRitter transition from bout to back to full mount, dropping elbows. The submission attempts are just continually attacking. Here you can see trying to put the ground and pound together. That might be the only way Reiner DeRitter can get Ong La out of there is to sit and mount and start just dropping bombs and empty that gas tank with the ground and pound. Ong La is tough to get out of there.
I don't think I need to go through the scorecard on this because clearly anybody watching at home can tell that DeRitter is winning this thing. But I will say that I think Ong La has gotten himself in a position now with this last 5 minutes that if he doesn't come up with some sort of finish, whether it be a knockout or submission, he may be too far behind on the scorecards.
5th and final round for the World Light Heavyweight Championship inside the Singapore Indoor Stadium. To end season 1 of One on TNT. Ong Lutton Sung, Reiner DeRitter. It's been all DeRitter so far and he's shooting for a single early. Ong La's better try and keep it on its feet. He stays vertical for the moment as Ong La.
Yeah, Ong La needs to start working in that underhook right there with the right arm like he just did.
And there's the takedown. Ong La on his back with DeRitter on top inside of half guard. Not where Ong La wanted to be within 30 seconds of this last round.
Yeah, Michael, it's just a masterclass from Reiner DeRitter, taking this match exactly where he wanted to, having very little resistance once this thing hits the ground, trying to pass the guard here. You can see how he has that left leg down there on the thigh. He's going to try to take his right leg, pop that through, and then just sit right into full mount. Good job by Ong La to kind of relieve that pressure from the mount.
I'm wondering where Ong La goes from here if DeRitter ends up taking this belt. Now DeRitter holds the belt in the light heavyweight class. He holds the belt in the middleweight class. And the question is, if Ong La actually had a full camp to prep for DeRitter, would that be the difference maker because this was on a 5-day notice?
You think a rematch is warranted?
Not at this point in time, but that's what I'm asking you. Where does Ong La go from here?
It has never been done in history for one man to take another man's titles in 2 weight divisions. Is Reiner DeRitter now 3 minutes and 30 seconds away from making history? He's in the full mount again.
Keep punching him there. Keep punching. If he starts,
This would be a massive moment if DeRitter beats Ong La tonight. Shots to the side of the head from Ong La, but he's got to find a way to get off his back. Can Ong La get there now? Can he get to his feet? Top position for Ong La. Now has the pendulum swung.
push his chin.
Push his chin, they're saying. Posture up, work the ground and pound.
Elbows, punches.
Nice job by Ong La Sung to explode out of the mounted position, and now he's working from the top. He's got 2 minutes and 45 seconds to really put something together because the lead, Rich, has got to be gigantic for RDR.
Yeah, it's huge at this point in time, and I agree with Ong La's decision to stay on the ground in the guard here, particularly after I saw that initial takedown defense that he attempted at the beginning of this round. But it's going to be difficult for him to get it done. It's going to be difficult for him to close the gap with enough damage or near finish or whatever. He's going to have to submit or knock out Reiner DeRitter in order to win this match with the amount of time that's left.
There is no quit in Ong La Sung. There is no surrender in the Myanmar superstar. But time is now a big enemy for him. 2 minutes remaining for Ong La to try and find a finish, or history will be made by Reiner DeRitter. He will become the light heavyweight world champion in addition to holding the middleweight world championship, something that's never been done before, to win both titles from the same man.
frame his chin with your hand and posture up. You've got to get your head up.
You hear them in the corner saying, frame his chin with your hand and posture up to work that ground and
Get
pound.
on your toes. Push into it. Get your head up. Yeah.
There needs to be more of a sense of urgency from Mma's corner here. They have to know that this fight is slipping away from him second by second.
Drop the right hook.
Close guard from RDR. Pulls the right hand out to Zonglan. Can't land it cleanly, however. RDR closes down the posture again of the champion. You wonder if we are seeing the final 65 seconds of the reign of gold of Zonglan's son. Something that's become such an iconic part of one championship all around Asia. They love him everywhere we go. They turn out in force to support Zonglan.
Look at the Ritter's mobility there.
Hey, watch up. Stand up. Stand up.
Yeah, you can see I was trying to overhook that arm and then try to get his hips outside to attempt possibly an arm bar. He's very mobile off his back. But at this point, he's got 30 seconds left. He's got a massive lead in just ground control and aggressiveness.
But that's what I like about the Ritter. He's got 30 seconds left. He's clearly dominated this entire match, and it's not good enough for him. He's saying, nope, I want this submission. I want something.
Zonglan's he's trying to land a heavy salvo in the final seconds, but again, those long arms reach up, they pull him down, they control the posture, he closes the guard. RDR shutting down Zonglan's son. We are going to a decision here in Singapore in our main event. We may see the title change hands. Zonglan pumps his fists in the air. Brendan Ritter does not pump his fist in the air. Is Zonglan seeing something different to what we're seeing, Mitch?
You know, you gotta act like you're the champion. You have to at all point in time. You have to believe it inside your soul that you are the very best at all
I
times.
say this all the time when we're training, even if you have a bad round, and yes, I have been submitted, Mitch, before in practice, it does happen. But I always tell my training partners, get up like you won the fight. Look like you won the fight, and that's exactly what Mma did. He must be seeing something. If he believes he won the fight, he's got to be seeing something that we didn't see.
It was a good last 2 minutes from Mma. He was able to get out of the mount, get on top, drop a lot of ground and pound, but it was just a grappling masterclass by RDR, shooting in, getting the easy takedown on Mma. And then this is what we saw pretty much all night. It doesn't matter what round we see the highlights from, whether it's 1, 2, 5, it was Reinier de Ritter, the middleweight champ, putting on a grappling clinic, getting the takedowns, putting this match exactly where he wanted it at all times, showcasing good takedowns. But what we saw from Mma was improved submission defense and really the will and the heart of a champion, Rich.
Yeah, you saw those glimmer of hopes here and there. Mma landed a couple uppercuts. You can see the damage on the outside, the Ritter's legs. But no, like you said, when you flash it through these rounds here, it doesn't matter whether you're in round 1 or round 4, round 5. You're going to see the Ritter transitioning from back to mount, landing strikes, and controlling this thing front to back.
It went the full 5 rounds, and neither of these two men expected that. They both thought they would finish each other. Zonglan on the feet, de Ritter on the ground, but we're getting a decision. Heavyweight world title, here's Zonglan.
This match was presented to you by JBL. And to present the belt for this match, we have the chairman and CEO of One Championship, Mr. Chatri Sitchatong. And now, ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of battle, we turn to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges have called this contest in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And new one light heavyweight world champion, Reinier de Ritter.
You have just witnessed a slice of history. The only man ever to take world titles from another man across 2 different weight divisions. The middleweight champion, now light heavyweight champion, the Dutch Knight, Renier Derrida. Amazing scene here. And it's like he takes it all in his stride. Like he knew it was a foregone conclusion. And he would be wearing the light heavyweight title tonight in addition to the middleweight title. And I'm even hearing whispers he wants the welterweight title as well, Dragon, from Cameron Abasov.
Well, that was what we were supposed to see, but that's a lot of gold this young man has across his shoulders right there. 28 pounds of gold strapped to his massive shoulders. Impressive feat.
Look what the regulations are getting through customs back to the Netherlands with that much gold in your suitcase.
You gotta buy another suitcase. You gotta get another one.
Superb Renier Derrida. As Rich Franklin said, the back control of the Dutch knight is something to behold. And the way he transitions position to position. Well, let's hear more now with Mitch Chilson.
Renier Derrida, my friend, you just made history chasing an opponent across 2 divisions. Who's next? Who should fear you the most?
Mitch, can I take this for a second? I'm not going to keep it too long because in a minute I'm dropping some more belts. Let me say first, Ang, thank you, brother. It's a great honor. You've improved leaps and bounds since 6 months ago, which is admirable. A true champion, humble as always. Thank you so much, man. Then, my guys here, man. And of course, Arun, I love you guys. Thank you for traveling the world with me. Watch Peter Buist. He's going to destroy some lightweights in the next couple of months. My wife back home, my baby boy, my baby girl, I love you. I love you more than anything in the world. This is for you. I hope I made you proud. Then, lastly, I got a belt here. I got a belt there. I got a spot for one more around my waist. Brandon Vera, what you want to do in a few months, man? What you up to this summer? Let's go.
Well, I guess Brandon Vera is next for the Dutch Knight. Thank you, my friend, and good luck getting through customs with all that gold.
All right, thanks, Mitch. Ciao, everybody.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The world middleweight.
Oh, what a grueling 25 minutes of attrition that was. I must say, when Michael Chiavello mentioned chasing the welterweight belt, I thought to myself, well, how about the heavyweights? We saw Angla Unsung and Brandon Vera get it on. Surely now, Renier Derrida has shown that he can take it.